Energycast is on the road in Ohio this month. We are here at the Portsmouth site for a major announcement. This is the first DOE site to reveal plans for an AI data center, made possible with private investment. This event marks a big step forward for this effort, but it also shows how cleanup sites can be reused across the country. A packed room and a major announcement in southern Ohio.
This is the center of our super intelligence.
SoftBank Group is building the world's largest AI data center with its own power supply on U.S. Department of Energy land at the former Portsmouth gaseous diffusion plant.
This is going to be a gigantic factory and ecosystem that will build intelligence, take electricity and turn it into innovation, turn it into opportunity, turn it into medical advancements so that cancers will become manageable conditions as opposed to death sentences.
The project includes a 10 gigawatt data center and up to 10 gigawatts of new power generation, including at least 9.2 gigawatts of natural gas generation.
This is not a project with debt. This is not a project that won't finish. This is a unique model in the world, and this is the first of its kind. This will produce reliable, affordable energy in the United States of America.
It's part of a broader U.S.-Japan trade and investment agreement, including $33 billion in Japanese funding, with plans that could grow into a $500 billion partnership.
This massive investment is going to create a lot of jobs, and there's going to be other industries that'll come in here to be near this energy production, to be near this intelligence generation.
The site, once central to America's Cold War defense, is still undergoing environmental cleanup. Now, private investment is helping speed that process up.
They're leasing land right here in Portsmouth. That ground lease will help us accelerate the cleanup.
Under the agreement, SoftBank, through SB Energy, will help fund that work, transforming the former uranium enrichment site into the Port's technology campus.
We've got to find the right communities that have the right local laws, the right workforce, the right attitudes, and the right size and scale where we can develop an industrial facility.
Officials say the scale here is unlike anything built before.
There will be more knowledge, more compute here than the entire current world capacity. More than ChatGPT, more than Gemini, everything combined, more will be based here in Ohio.
The project also includes a $4.2 billion investment in grid upgrades and new transmission lines, with developers saying it will not raise customer rates.
I will commit right now, right here, we will protect the electricity bill.
Construction is expected to begin this year, creating about 10,000 construction jobs and more than 2,000 permanent positions. What's happening at DOE's Portsmouth site didn't happen overnight. This kind of reindustrialization is the result of years of cleanup, investment, and planning. Federal leaders say it's a model for what could happen at other DOE sites across the country. EM Assistant Secretary Tim Walsh calls it a blueprint.
All of the land that we're either transferring to the community or leasing to these private companies, they're bringing the capital. Right here in Portsmouth, there was a $33 billion investment coming in for the 9.2 gigawatts of power generation that was made possible by the trade deal that President Trump struck with the Japanese Prime Minister. But, separate from that, the AI data center, they're leasing land right here in Portsmouth. That ground lease will help us accelerate the cleanup. They're going to probably over the next few years spend as much as $200 million to help us accelerate the cleanup here in Portsmouth. So I think it's a win-win because it's private dollars helping accelerate the environmental remediation here at Portsmouth and across the complex. I would say this is the blueprint for EM going forward.
But to get to this moment, it took years of hard work. Before this month's announcement, crews were tearing down part of the old uranium enrichment plant. The massive X326 building stretched 56 acres and dated back to the 1950s. But today, that footprint is cleared and ready for what comes next. Nearly 70 years after it began operations, that same land is now set to house what could become the world's largest AI data center. The first phase of construction will include the X326 footprint, with more cleanup already underway at nearby facilities. The site leaders say that progress is exactly the goal: clean it up and put it back to use.
When we're through, the buildings are gone, and the area below the buildings is also clean and reusable. And so our objective was to clean the entire footprint for these reindustrialization options. And so that's what's been our kind of our North Star the whole time. And it has turned out to be working. And now we're having a conversation regarding SoftBank Energy, who recognizes we've got a great site with great assets for our business, and the area of that site has been cleaned up. The soil has also been addressed, and so now it becomes an opportunity for them and a location for them to set up on this federal site.
The first phase of the AI data center will cover about 189 acres at the Portsmouth site. The company is also committed to build 10 gigawatts of new power generation tied into the local grid. It's a model the Department of Energy hopes to replicate elsewhere. But in Ohio, the project is already moving full speed ahead. SB Energy says it's securing equipment for the natural gas power plant, while lining up construction so the power is ready when the data center comes online.
It starts with having ordered all the turbines. Getting the delivery slots that match the need that we have here is absolutely critical. And having those turbine slots reserved gives us now a roadmap of when we can bring this compute online. So that's the first piece. The second is we've been working very closely with the utility AEP Ohio on the plan to upgrade the grid and to have that be synchronized with the generation coming online. And then third, we have planned for the data center to follow that ramp, just lagging slightly behind. So the power will come online just before the data center, each different building does, but these are built in phases. The first phases are already under construction. We're doing civil works here today. We've been doing civil works for a while. We're going to go vertical on the first data center this summer and begin construction on the first power plants this year. So this is moving fast, and we will see commissionings over the next couple of years.
This massive investment is not just about AI. It's about what it means for the people who live here. The leaders say it will bring thousands of jobs and help rebuild the manufacturing base that will support the project. But for a region that's seen jobs disappear, this is a turning point.
It's just monumental to have this type of investment. The largest power generation facility in the entire country here in Pike County. We've got the workforce, we've got the people. It's going to be, a generational change moving forward. So it's a project that we just can't say enough about. We're welcoming it. We want the jobs and we want all the construction. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right.
This is going to be transformative for all of Ohio, actually, but especially for Southern Ohio, because this has been an economic engine for this entire area for so long. And as we clean up the site, you can see jobs going away. This will give us an opportunity to keep the talent of the young folks that are growing up here, and it's going to give us a real opportunity to make a real life difference for all those people that live in this area.
But with a project this big come big questions, especially about power and whether families will end up paying more for it. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says that won't happen. He points to the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, which is designed to protect consumers, not burden them.
The Ratepayer Protection Pledge that President Trump led and we signed in Washington, D.C. just a week or two ago virtually guarantees that the data center developers have to come in, bring money in advance to enhance the power infrastructure even before they get 1 electron of electricity, and they have to guarantee that rates will not rise in that community. So actually it's a big win for local power people paying bills in the area, but I understand people's concerns. You put a new demand center in the community. I understand people worried about that. We have addressed those concerns plus. It'll actually be the biggest win. The communities that have data center development are the communities that'll end electricity price rises and set themselves up for future electricity price declines. and the opportunity for so many businesses to locate there. And if you have a lot of businesses trying to hire workers, that's what pushes wages up.
At the same time, Washington is setting the rules for how this technology grows. The administration recently rolled out a national AI framework. The plan focuses on 6 key priorities. Leaders want to make sure the U.S. can compete, while communities like this one see the benefits. This month's announcement is part of a bigger push to use DOE land to help the U.S. lead in AI and energy. We'll continue to bring you updates as the project moves forward. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of Energycast. We'll see you next month back in Oak Ridge.